Hello everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of themoviewizard.com, and let's talk about Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. As you probably saw on Twitter yesterday, the movie has been trending not because it's about to be released in a couple of weeks, although it certainly is and a lot of people are excited, but because news has broke that there will be an extended R-rated cut of the movie coming out on Blu-ray and video on demand in the summer. It will be rated R for, and I quote, sequences of violence, which is a little different from what the extended edition of The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies got when they got an R rating for, and I quote, some violence. Oh, how I love the logic of the MPAA rating system sometimes. This, of course, has led to two big questions and debates raging about the movie. The first is that we have to now actually accept that there is an R-rated Superman movie out there. I mean, seriously, when you stop and think about that, that's really strange. Superman, the all-American hero, the good guy, the superhero that above Batman, Spider-Man, and Hulk, he was the first superhero that kids looked up to, watched religiously on TV, and there is now an R-rated Superman movie. Oh, what would Christopher Reeves think? The second thing that people are discussing more is whether or not this can be the first of what we call the Deadpool effect. As you probably are well aware, Deadpool opened, it had an R rating. It was a hard R rating, making unlike what that mom from wherever the heck in USA had started that petition wanted, it would be pretty much impossible to make a PG-13 rated version of Deadpool for kids based on what I saw. But no R-rated superhero movie had made that much money before. Certainly not Watchmen. Even 300, which was based off a graphic novel, hasn't made as much money as Deadpool has. Deadpool might have kicked the doors open for superhero movies to be rated R, and comic book fans are wondering, is this the Deadpool effect, and is it even the right message to send? Because here's the thing, James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, commented fairly recently that he was worried that the success of Deadpool was going to be a bad thing because Hollywood would learn the wrong lesson from Deadpool's success. And I actually agree with him. I mean, when you look at Avatar, all those rave reviews, all that money, and the only thing Hollywood took away from it was that people were willing to pay $3 extra to see a movie in 3D. Like, really, that's the only lesson they learned from that movie. And Deadpool's more or less probably the same thing. When they look at the box office, they're going to be thinking, gee, how did that become a big success? Oh, well, it was rated R. Maybe that's the reason. And as someone who has seen the movie, I can tell you, no, that is not why Deadpool was super successful. It was super successful because it was funny and clever and unique. And that's why people flocked to it. But the thing is, Deadpool was successful. It did have an R rating. And now the question is this R rating for the Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice a result of the Deadpool success? And my answer is maybe, but at the moment, probably not. Because some digging into this, I discovered that the R rating was actually given to this movie and submitted to the NBA back in September, long before Deadpool became a success. So, okay, so it's not exactly capitalizing on Deadpool's success in R-rated movie. I guess they had always planned to do this. It's just we're just now finding out about it. Also, this is not the first time that a PG-13 superhero movie has received an R rating later down the line. The best example I can think of is Ben Affleck's Daredevil movie, which was rated PG-13 in theaters, but has an extended alternate cut that's rated R on DVD and Blu-ray. And might I add, if you haven't seen the R-rated Daredevil movie, it's still not a great movie, and of course Netflix's series still totally blows it out of the water, but it is a better movie at the very least. Also, Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice is directed by Zack Snyder. This guy typically does work in R-rated territory. He directed 300. He directed Watchmen. He directed Sucker Punch, which was a very, very sketchy PG-13 movie, and when that came to Blu-ray, guess what? It had an R-rated version, which in my opinion wasn't much different from the PG-13 version. So this is not exactly new. People have been putting R-rated cuts of superhero movies out for a long time. Now, I do want to caution Hollywood and any executives who might be listening to this. I highly doubt it, but if they are, please, while I do welcome an R-rated superhero movie, don't look at Deadpool and think that the reason it's successful is because it's rated R. Because guess what? You guys rebooted Fantastic Four, and just because it was PG-13, it didn't make it successful. And that was the most basic of basic marketing 101s that, you Hollywood people think you need to be successful. The rating has very little to do with whether or not people want to see the movie. I personally suspect Ant-Man would have been a success had it been rated PG, but that's just my opinion. Really, if we're going to ride this R-rated bandwagon for the superhero movie, I would personally like to see that animated Wonder Woman movie get its original R rating release, because I would like to see the uncut version of that, and I'd like to see comic book animation fans rally behind an uncut R rated release of that movie, much like they did for the uncut release of Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, which was edited for kids and then got a PG-13 uncut version later on down the road. My opinion of this is that I'm intrigued by what the ultimate edition of Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice is going to be. At the moment, I don't think the release is a reaction to the Deadpool success. I do believe it is being more played upon because of the Deadpool success. And of course, I want to stress to studios, Deadpool was not as successful as it was because it was rated R. It was as successful as it was because it was a really darn good movie. So, those are my thoughts. What are yours? I'd like to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.